Welcome to the King-Abrams show. We made it, everybody.
We are here.
Dr. Brian King, how are you?
I am good. How are you, Sam?
Well, I have to tell you, I am sighing. I am letting out a big sigh of relief. I always try to use the sayings. I'm like worse than George W.
Yeah, we make up your own phrase.
Just make up my own shit.
You're a writer. You could do that.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief.
There you go.
Because there's a big change since last week.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode, our premiere episode, 5 o'clock. We live streamed. We were so excited. We put so much work into it.
Yeah, it didn't help that I was in the airport when we were trying to put that together.
It also didn't help that it was a total shit show. Like that, it was the jankiest shit that I have ever seen on the internet in the history of all the Earth's internet.
Yeah, no, we definitely had there was definitely some issues, but it is what it is, and it's going to live on the internet forever. So when you and I become mega famous, somebody's going to dig it up and try to embarrass us with it, and that's okay. So I just want to say to my future blackmailers, you're welcome. Really, because we're giving that to you. That's like a gift, right there. It's like, I just made you like 50 grand. All right, future blackmailers. Thank you. You're welcome for that.
But you know what? We're gonna keep it up. A couple people said, don't, delete it. Don't post it.
Right.
Like, you know what? Fuck that. I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? I gotta pay my dues.
It is what it is. I have, so I've been doing comedy for a long time, and I have some of my earliest sets like still on YouTube, and there's comedians I know that like once they get good, they're embarrassed of their old crap and they take it down and stuff, but I feel like it's, if somebody's a fan, they want to know like where you started from, it's like interesting for them to see like. So obviously nobody listened to the first episode, but maybe after like the 100th episode, then people are like, let's see where these guys started. And they go back and they're like, oh my God. And then they appreciate us even more because they saw how bad we started. And they're like,
maybe.
They're like, I can't.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty janky shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Ours took the cake. However, I never felt sorry for them. I never said, you know what? Maybe they tried really hard.
Yeah.
Maybe they just, are still on their learning curve. It's okay. But I that to say, I just have to take a second to shout out all the like everybody out there on this planet that is self-publishing their podcast. I salute you, because last week was the first time I ever dove in. Everybody makes it look so goddamn easy.
They do. They really do. You watch. Easy. Yeah, you watch Joe Rogan's podcast, and it's like it's flawless, but he's got a crew, he's got production, he's got experience of doing like hundreds of episodes, and before that he did TV, and he's been in the game for a long time, so
right,
we can't compare ourselves to Joe Rogan. However, we compared to like my Aunt Susan's pet podcast, she does this weekly podcast where she talks about her pet's bowel movements and food and so forth. We are podcasting circles around that lady.
We really are. On your Aunt Susan.
Hey man,
all over Aunt Susan.
I know Aunt Susan don't exist, but anyway, she was a figment of my imagination.
Well, I just gotta say that I'm happy to be on this journey, and I know that we're gonna be in way different space 6 months, a year from now. We're gonna be big pros, but a friend of mine, I was talking about it today, and he said, he says that's like if you did your first comedy set, you went on stage first time ever, and was like, yo, I'm inviting all my friends, and I'm gonna put some ads out and promote shit. Like, duh.
Yeah, that's why I usually shy away from telling anybody about anything.
Right, I learned.
I'm just I'm the same way though. I started, maybe not podcasting, but I started doing a video series a few years ago, And I just started it. I was like, you know, I can make videos with like my cell phone and whatever technology I got laying around, and I just started doing it, and they're terrible, but I promoted the hell out of them. You know, I even paid for I paid for Google ads, I paid for Facebook ads. I got like lots of, you know, and the early ones were just awful, you know. And now I'm doing like really good ones because I've been doing it for several years, and like, you know, I'm up to like episode 200 or so of my YouTube show, and now it's like, yeah, those are good, but I don't put any money behind them. I don't promote them at all, you know. It's like
all my ads. I was like, pause.
It's like the beginning comedian problem, you know. It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna start doing stand-up comedy. Everybody come out to support me, but you suck. That's the thing that you don't know, and you don't know that 6 months later you're gonna be much better. And that's when you're gonna be like, guys, come on, I got a show at the Comedy Store. I need to bring some people, and nobody wants to go because they saw you suck 6 months before. You know.
Well, I certainly appreciate those that are tuned in, watching on. You can watch us live on YouTube, so you can see us, see our beautiful faces every Thursday at 5 Pacific, or you can listen anywhere podcasts are available. So if you're watching or listening right now, we appreciate you, Dr. Brian King, and I appreciate you. Stay with us, bear with us. I guarantee you, today's show is a hang of a lot better. But in fact, I recommend everybody to, whatever you do, don't go back. Bullshit.
Yeah. Don't go back to the first episode. If you're listening, if you're starting with us right now, this is our first episode.
Right. This is a redo. This is a total redo.
This is a redo. It's a reboot, right? We got the same cast, you know, but it's like all new Godzilla.
Now new Godzilla. So what are we here to talk about?
We're talking about sex, baby.
Talk about sex, baby.
Here's something I want to tell people. This happened offline, obviously, but earlier I was being a little bit goofy, and I texted Sam. She's like, "Guys, send me the link." And so I wrote, "Guys, send me that link." And then I just ended it with "baby."
I noticed.
And as soon as I did that, I did it on purpose. And I'm like, man, if I did that in person, Sam would punch me in the face. And my girlfriend is sitting here like, you know, I'd do it for her. You know, it was just like, just a little goofiness there.
I don't punch. I don't punch anymore. I'll give you a figurative punch. Like I'll come up with some wild words that'll just cut you out.
You have got guns though, man. Look at you. You're like showing them off, and you bigger guns than me, man. I won't even flex because I'm just gonna embarrass myself. Really, I broke a sweat getting in this shirt. All right. But it is good, man. It's good that everything's working so far. Yeah. You know, we got a little, you know, and of course I'm not rushing through airport security. That also made our first episode kind of weird.
It was a little crazy.
And I was like, Samantha, I timed my trip wrong, or I forgot, I goofed up, and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to like go to the airport during. And it's like, well, can you still do it? And like, you want me to do it while I'm going to the airport? All right. So I had my phone. I had my phone on. I was trying to do my phone while they're patting me down, you know. And then they did the strip search. That was awkward. It was it just, you know, I got a part-time job as a drug mule to make ends meet during the pandemic, and they really just wanted to look everywhere. But yeah, we're on to it. Better episode. Everything's all good.
Well, yeah, the difference is it must have been within, I say, an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. First of all, let me just tell you about the hot 25 minutes of depression that I went to after the last show ended. Let me tell you, 30 minutes of sadness.
Oh, wow.
And then that motivates me, right? I just figured out what the next step is. I hired a producer. Now, some people have the talent and the patience to go through and figure out all the technical stuff, but fuck all that. I mean, it just went so wrong. I don't have to. So now we have a producer. So
it didn't look anything like Joe Rogan's podcast.
No, it did not. It didn't even sound. It was. Oh God.
It didn't even look like Mike Rogan's podcast. whoever the hell Mike Rogan is. It was but that's not a good benchmark for comparison. But him being so successful, it is kind of what all podcasters hope for, dream for.
Right.
Obviously, there's only one Joe Rogan, but we could do our thing. We could have this,
I believe it. We're gonna get so good at this, and that's I get it. So I canceled all my Google ads. Fucking
why am I advertising this shit show? Oh my God.
Everybody's got to learn somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of us. We're here. We're doing it.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about sex. So the last episode we talked about married, single versus relationship sex. We tried to talk about the differences and the challenges, but our theme music was playing the whole damn time, deafening the audience. So
also the airline at the terminal kept interjecting by telling me that people were boarding flights. You know how they do.
I like your background. That's very creative. What are we looking at?
So my girlfriend Sarah built this background for a couple of purposes. We had some photo shoots. We were doing some video work, and then I thought I would leave it because it's kind of fun. Let me go ahead. Technical difficulty. My microphone thing just came off my table. But we had. I'm gonna just lean up. See, look, this goes all the way up, man. This is this is just this bubbly dot pattern that we have going on, and it's kind of cool. Let me see if I can fix this. Put up that technical difficulties logo there, producer.
And add some disco music.
If we don't have one of those
behind him, makes me want to dance.
You know how Conan has all these cartoons that he plays? We'll be right back. Technical difficulties. Yeah, put that up.
I had a decent sexual week this week. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Hey, we've been canceled.
Already?
All right. How you gonna get canceled? You have to cancel your own shit.
I know. YouTube is you know what? You guys are way too amateur even for us. And we host cat videos filmed on phones. All right. Flip phones at that. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You fixed your technical issues.
So you had some good sex this week?
I had some decent sexual encounters.
Okay.
I don't know if it would qualify.
You added some extra words in there, like you're trying to Bill Clinton your way out of this. Okay. Yeah. I did not have sexual relations. Look, it's sex or it's either sex or it's sex or it's not.
It's sex. I'm a single woman. I'm a very busy woman, and so I've sort of compartmentalized my sex life, and so I don't go full around with a guy that I'm seeing. I've been seeing the same guy for a little while now, and it's pretty savage, Dr. King.
Wait, you don't fool around with the guy that you've been seeing?
We fool around, but we just try to avoid feelings, and it's all very grown up.
I gotcha. Yeah. So you're
women understanding.
It's a physical relationship to get your needs met, but without the emotions and stuff. You're trying not to be emotional,
That's right.
So you don't cuddle afterwards, right?
No.
However,
I will qualify and say that this is the first. It's very strange, but I like it. It's the first time I've ever had a relationship like this. Post-divorce, couple of kids.
Those kind of relationships can be very satisfying, especially in your position, because you're not looking for somebody to have kids with. You got them, you're not looking for somebody to complete your life or whatever. You have a very full life, You just need to rub one out once in a while and he helps, That's basically it.
Basically. That's why you're the doctor. You're the expert.
But that kind of relationship that you have is very difficult when you don't have the kids and don't have the full career and life and so forth, because you say, oh yeah, let's just do this as a physical thing. But then you end up spending all your time together because you got nothing else to do.
Right.
And then it's really difficult to not become attached, So the way you're doing it, being a professional woman and paying some gigolo is probably the good way to do it. How much is this man? How much is this man
Mama
costing
don't
you?
do that. Mama does not do that. Mama stopped doing that in my early.
I yeah
I don't get
I
loans. It's a no.
I have never
So
understood why there's a market for male sex workers in females. I know why men pay other men. I know because men, pay for sex. But I never knew that. Anyway, so yeah, so you had some good times this week with your non-committal. Non-committal. What do you call this man in your life? A lot of people use the friends with benefits
I
term.
call him peanut butter.
Peanut butter? Oh, what's that?
That's a nickname.
Brown, smooth, and easy to spread.
Yeah, pretty much. I
stole that joke,
really
by the way. If anybody's listening, I stole that joke. I'm not gonna. Don't try to out me like Joe Rogan. All right, I'm not Carlos Mencia. I'll admit I stole that joke. That was from a movie called Shakes the Clown with Bobcat Goldthwait. Bunch of other comedians. Robin Williams was in it, and Adam Sandler. Anyways, it's if you're a comedian, you should watch that movie. But anyway, yeah. So sorry, I derailed the podcast.
No. As long as we're talking about sex.
All right.
So last week we explored married sex versus single sex versus relationship sex, and we started the discussion out with a study that was published in 2014, where they basically asked a bunch of women who were married, but 150 women, how satisfied they were having sex. And then they asked a bunch of single women. And then, as it turns out, according to research, married women are more satisfied than single women in the bedroom.
Yes, that is what that research said.
That's what research said. But if you ask everybody everybody that I know that's married is having problems in their bedroom damn near, if they've got the courage to talk about it. And then women like me who are single, and then my girlfriends who are single, yeah, we're having fun. So how does that reconcile? Right? Science says the opposite of what it feels like is happening.
No, it's okay. This is a case of a representation with regard to like a survey sample. So overall, in general, single people don't have as the sex lives that married people do. And we're talking about in general, right? Which is obvious because most single people are not fuckable.
Me.
It's true.
The study
was
outside. There's too many ugly motherfuckers out there.
Go outside and just stand at a bus stop and just watch people go by and count how many people there are and divide that by how many people you would do. All right. No, I'm just saying. That's mean for me to say, but it is true. A lot of people don't have friends with benefits like you do. A lot of single people don't have that. And so it's for them, a lot of their sex life is spent in the pursuit of sex, or like sitting around, I can't wait, hopefully this guy will call, or I'm gonna just swipe right on 100 girls and hopefully one of them will swipe right back. Like it's, it's,
that's how men live. I don't know if that's a female experience.
Dude,
but you're saying in general, people don't know when they're going to get their next helping.
Right.
Of the good.
And the thing is with married people,
single people,
with married people, assuming they live with their spouse, and again, like surveys are terrible because you have to have stipulations on who you put in your survey. And then when you make conclusions based on the data, you have to make sure you understand that these conclusions are based on this particular set of people with these characteristics. When you just say are you married or single? I'm married or I'm single, and then you put then we analyze your data separately. Well, there's a lot of gray area there. There's married people who live apart because of work or circumstance or whatever. There's single people who have lived with somebody for 20 years. It gets muddy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But so that's why I always like to say when you interpret research like this, you should use remember that they're talking about generalities. They're generalizing over large populations, and in that particular population, there are married people reporting greater satisfaction than their single people. Simple, that's the study we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that is. Interesting. There was another study that said that people are having this is pandemic related. So people are having less sex, and in general, and on the female side, it's because we're drinking less.
See, that's
only reason.
see again.
But with the men, it's they're having less sex because they're drinking less, and they're playing video games, and they live with their moms.
Right.
There were 3 reasons.
So there's there are all sorts of things that you need to tease out when you interpret this kind of stuff. Surveys are fun, and you could get published. Like I published a few survey result studies when I was actively doing research. But the thing is that the interpretation always has to be based on what are the specifics about the survey. If these women are asked a multiple choice question, and it's like, why are you not having enough sex? And it's like, well, A, it's because nobody's around. B, is because my boyfriend refuses to put on his COVID mask, and I won't. C, it's because I'm not drinking. You know what I mean? Like there's different line items. And so they can just put that, or there's a correlation. This is another possibility, is that there's a potential correlation between drinking and having sex that is absent right now. And it doesn't necessarily mean one causes another. It just means that these two things.
Clearly, alcohol causes addiction.
Yeah,
there's a lot of alcohol whores out there. Come on.
Hey, well, let me just tell you.
Isn't there?
No, I'm just saying. So it's like it's not just the drinking. It's the what do you do when you drink? Well, most people, they go out. They go to a bar. So there's drinking at the place I go to drink is also the place where I get hooked. I hook up with random dudes. Go figure. You know what I mean? Like. So it's not just the drinking, it's the lack of socializing, the lack of going out, the lack of getting dressed up and going out with the girls, and with the intention of drinking a whole bunch and pretending, I don't know what I did last night. I was so drunk. It's
pretending.
Yeah, exactly. You pretend, you use the alcohol as an excuse to get. You let the bad girl out, but only after a drink. That's it.
Well, maybe there are those out there, but during my roaring 20s, there was bona fide blackouts. Like I really didn't remember. I knew going into it. I knew after drink 4 that some lucky motherfucker was gonna end up all deep in my mouth. But.
Some dudes are just that ugly.
But I woke up one day. I was. Some people know me. For those that don't know, I'm a recovered alcoholic. I haven't had a drink since August 3rd, 2013. So I'll be 8 years sober. Haven't had a sip of alcohol. Nikki in the back is clapping. Thank you. When I was drinking, it was rough. I would black out. I was a blackout drunk. So I woke up one day in a strange hotel room naked and found my purse and clothes in the bathtub. So that's
hey, at least you found your purse.
Yeah,
at least that was there. Yeah.
So I probably have a different experience. So listen, we've got a guest. We want to get Nikki on this in this conversation. We got comedian Nikki Carr in the house. This is our transition music.
Ding, 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 ding. What's happening?
Hey, Nikki Carr, everybody.
Hey, Nikki.
What up?
Dr. King, hilarious. Samantha
Thank you, Nikki.
You guys are hilarious. I forgot I was on the show. I just want to say that this is ridiculous. And I'm pissed off. Sam got makeup. I don't have any makeup. Dr. King has my background to match my outfit. This is all messed up, man. This is all
you got the purple hat and the purple shirt. I love it. It would fit right here on my lap. No, I have a
What?
I was gonna say couch, but then I said lap at the last minute to make it creepy. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't mean to creep out your first guests.
All right, we're like the FDA. We give you allow a certain percentage of creepy.
That's right. No, while you were introducing Nikki, my 3-year-old was actually trying to get my attention off camera. So I was trying to get her to shut up in the most discreet way possible. So.
Yeah, I got to have a similar situation. I have a young kitten whose balls we just had cut off 3 days ago, and so I'm pushing him away with my foot as he comes vying for my attention. Nikki, have you ever been married?
I'm just playing.
Oh, now you know my heart went.
I was like, uh-oh. I was like, here it starts. Here we go.
I can't hear her. We got some serious. I gotta find my producer.
Yes, I've been married. I've been married 3 times.
Wow.
Every
Nikki,
time.
you've never been married, right?
I've been married 3 times.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Was your sex better married or during your single years?
I wasn't having no sex. I was just married.
Oh man. It's like a green card wedding, huh?
That's a big That's a big zero for the wedding side.
See what
sex, right?
See what the problem is. This is inherently the problem with these surveys. This is the problem with these surveys is that you don't know who you're asking. Like, you know what I mean? Like there could be all sorts of circumstances. But so you had sexless marriages, Nikki.
I had one too.
Were all 3 of them sexless?
None of that. I'm just kidding. I was married to my daughter's dad, and I no, I wasn't. Yeah, it was heterosexual. It was.
Yeah,
and it made me sick. I kept getting big bellies like this, and people was coming out of me.
That is one of the side effects of heterosexual sex.
Other women, when I have lesbian sex, that doesn't happen.
It's
great, and it's over, and there's no swelling, no lactating, none of that stuff.
You know, I actually have the opposite experiences. When I have sex with women, they end up all bloated and lactating, and
you know they have pills for that.
Brian, Dr. King, you've been. First of all, it's so weird to call you Dr. King because you don't look like Martin Luther King Jr. Like
that guy.
Dr. B.
You know,
that guy stole my thunder.
Yeah. King came in that color, you know. You don't know what he would look like.
Basically, that guy made sure that I could never go by Dr. King ever. You know,
right? You'd have to go.
He was a good guy. He did some good things, but he screwed me out of being able to use that name.
A phone call was coming in on the camera.
Right, you and your girlfriend, who I see you guys as a married couple in my head, but I know you're not married. You've been together for how many years?
Yeah, I think we're going on 6 years. You know, she's probably. I mean, she's not the kind of person that's going to get mad if I forget how long we've been together. But I think it's like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
It's hard because I don't remember like exactly what we target like our first date time frame as when we started dating officially. So that was 2015. So maybe 6 years. You know.
And you guys still keeping the sex. Keeping the bedroom sexy and spicy.
We do what we can. You know, like as you pointed out, when you get married, sometimes things can happen, you know, and we're not married, but you know, that's just a piece of paper. You know, we're affected. We live like a married couple, you know.
Right.
And you know, we have a kid and everything.
The episode when the people who ain't getting none come on. That's the one that I'm with. You guys are really
maybe you're it.
3. Yeah, that'd be episode 3.
With your sex and sex stories and significant others and fuck friends and shit. I don't have.
So
I got.
Tell us a funny sex
stuffed, huh?
We want to hear from you, Nikki.
What do you want to hear?
We want to hear your
girls.
The craziest sex story,
Dr. King.
Yeah.
Tell about it.
No, I want to hear.
They're just a lot smaller, but they're just.
Women get blue balls. Smaller.
That's hilarious.
Can you divulge a sex story, Nikki? Something. The sex story. The rule is people can email us at mysexstory@thekingabrams.com and tell us about a story with a romantic story that went not as expected.
Well, you know, my life. Period. We don't have time for that, but you know, it's been a while, and I'm feeling really good. And sometimes you want to get that energy out, and I don't know how to get that energy out. I really just want to tear up this studio like an angry orangutan, and that would show you exactly how I'm feeling right now. My
Wow.
balls are blue, little blue balls.
Sam, I didn't anticipate that our show would actually turn people on. It really
Well,
is.
it is what it is. It's all
Yeah.
over. We're still on this learning curve.
Yeah, everybody's turned on.
I decided to fuck off all the day. Like I had a whole format: 5-minute segment, 10-minute segment.
Oh man,
seconds.
let
all
me just
that.
tell you, for everybody watching, listening, whatever, Nikki, this woman prepares. She plans. She sent me like an outline with everything scheduled. You know, I mean, no wonder your marriage didn't work out.
I know.
She
Shit that didn't even have nothing to do with you, like taking the cat to the doctor, all kinds of stuff, right? I know.
Yeah. And at this point, we're gonna have to
She's
say this. And I'm teasing. No, I like that Sam was so. One thing I love about Sam, and I think this is going to make the podcast great, is how professional she is. But she really did plan it, really, have it planned, and then it's unfortunate that it fell apart like that, you know.
It is. I just flooded that feed from last week. It's all over it. It's all over everywhere podcasts are available. I just flooded it with sponsorships. Right. I'm like, if anybody goes back to listening to shit, let me at least make a nickel on that motherfucker. So whatever.
But so Nikki, you're not currently you don't currently have a relationship going?
No, I've been single for let's see, 2 months now, which is equivalent to 6 lesbian months. And, yeah, I thought that
only worked when you were like dating. Like
when you break up, that's what it. Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you're dating, it's regular, but when you break up, yeah, it's different.
I feel like lesbian sex
from a narcissistic relationship.
Oh
and
wow!
I'm in car repair, and I'm feeling better. That's car with a double R. The second R is for repair. Damn it!
There you go. I
I'm
feel like
doing very well with it. I'm just horny as hell. That's all. Okay, thank you. I've said it. Okay.
I always imagine lesbian relationships as being like the what do you the Flash, you know those scenes in like this or the Justice League with the Flash or Quicksilver and like the X-Men movies. Are you into the nerd stuff like I am?
No, I don't know.
Nah, well,
I don't know about that stuff.
So these are guys that move really fast. They move really fast, and then whenever they show them on camera moving, the world around them is moving really slow. It's a cool special effect, and you should Google it after this and never mind.
Yes.
And that's how you thought lesbian sex was?
Because they move fast. They move fast, and like the rest of us.
Maybe I should try that shit.
No. I have changed the weather. You know, like on a snowy day, and after we left the hotel, it was like birds and sunshine.
Yeah, exactly.
And all kind of shit like that.
And suddenly you live together.
Make fire come out of my tongue.
How fast?
You know, you might have even convinced me to change teams. That was, fire tongue. I'm gonna have to get me a vagina just so I can experience that.
We're overtime, guys.
That's a good idea. Gotta go.
No. Perfect timing. All right, so we managed to bring up the studies, although I didn't cite who studied them. We managed to talk about.
This isn't a peer-reviewed journal or anything, you know. We don't have to. We can cite. You know what? We could cite sources in the description when we post this podcast.
All right, wait a minute. Before we go, I was on the hot seat. Nikki was on the hot seat. Your turn, Brian. This way.
Yeah.
Either tell me how your week was sexually or tell me about a sex story that didn't go as planned, and then we'll close out the show.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think I could share. No, I don't know. Sarah, can I tell them why we put this backdrop up here?
It was the real story, so you say you lied.
They're asking me about my sex life for the past week. You know what?
She's hot. She's a hot redhead.
I'm gonna promote it because I'm proud of it. All right. So, my girlfriend has an OnlyFans page. She's a model, and she sometimes does some erotic content. and somebody had a custom request that she do, and we thought this would make a good backdrop for it. So, and that's about all I'm going to say. For if you want to find out any more, you got to go to onlyfans.com/redhottango and sign up for her account and see what this was used in.
Y'all just hippie. I love it.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me just say this before anybody pukes. All right, I'm not in the video. All right.
That's pretty cool. You have your girlfriend, and you are pretty open-minded, and she's super hot redhead, by the way.
Yeah, nah, she is
super hot.
And so,
I love it.
Me having a background in human sexuality research, and then of course, we all have our proclivities, and we're all open-minded and stuff. And then she's a model, and I'm a photographer, and things. It's like an inevitable conclusion when you put all that stuff together. You know what I'm saying? But let me just tell you, we made some content that I'm super proud of. I can't wait till it's posted. I can't wait till people start seeing it, and afterwards, it was fun.
Are you talking about are you talking about King-Abrams show, or are you talking about your wife's?
Oh no, I'm still answering the question of what I did sexually this past week.
OnlyFans. I was trying to think of the name of the app.
OnlyFans. Yeah.
So people are doing other stuff other than flashy, porny stuff on there, right? There's all kinds of stuff on there.
On what?
There's all kinds of stuff on there. So the comedian Darnell Rawlings, right? He does OnlyFans. I think I told you about him. And there's and he's not getting naked or having sex on it or anything. He's just posting his podcast, or he's posting like the dirtier outtakes, of his podcast. DJ Khaled is on OnlyFans.
And another one.
Yeah. And I really hope
about being a comedian too.
I really hope he's not. I really hope he's not getting naked on OnlyFans. What'd you say, Nikki, about being a comedian?
I said I thought about becoming a comedian with a U on one of those sites as well.
Yes.
But
yes.
I would.
Let me tell you,
I would be getting naked. Yeah.
Yes. During the I don't know when she started doing this, but during the pandemic, I noticed that a comedian up in Boston, whose name is Jamie, she's on my friend's feed. I've never met her, but you know how comedians are. We just add anybody who sends a request.
Yeah.
So anyways, she's up in Boston. She's a comedian, and then during the pandemic, she starts doing these topless comedy shows. Inviting other people, like on Zoom, on streaming
Zoom?
Platforms. Yeah. And asking for tips, asking for people to pay, and it boosted her up. And then she got on OnlyFans, and then I think she's got a whole second career going, or a first career, really, because we know comedy doesn't pay any money.
There's a lot of money to be made in telling jokes naked.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Imagine if I bring my dick. Oh my God.
There you go.
Imagine the tips.
I wish you all the best of luck with your sexual endeavors, and that includes me. Listen, this was a great show. I had a blast tonight. Nikki, thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
I hope you had fun. I saw you cracking up before you
Yeah, you guys are hilarious.
Yeah. Nikki, it's a pleasure to meet you, Nikki.
Same here. I'll be watching every week, for real.
Oh, nice. So this is how we get our audience one by one every week.
One by one. All my friends in purple.
So Dr. Brian King and I are, not only are we, all three of us here, Nikki, Carr as well, we're comedians, but Dr. Brian King and I are also science authors. And so we don't want to forget to remind you to check out Dr. Brian King's book, The Art of Taking It Easy.
Oh, I actually have a big event going on right now. I should probably plug it. So my new book, The Art of Taking It Easy, was released a little while ago, but has been picked up by this thing called Overdrive, which it's like a library app. I never heard of it before, but apparently it's a big deal, and people who like libraries, they use it.
Cool.
They have the world's largest book club, and they are currently featuring my book in their book club. So like libraries everywhere in the world are promoting my book, and they're making it available. And it's crazy because this week in particular, we need to actually post this to those people, because this week in particular, I'm getting all kinds of like social media people commenting and people following my Instagram and my YouTube and my Facebook, and like they're all finding me because of this big library read, this big thing that's going on right now about my book. It's like, it's super cool. It's probably the biggest push that my book has ever gotten in the United States, and it's happening right now. It's awesome.
That's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
so
super
happy
cool.
for you. This book's doing a lot better than the first book. And so we want to say the title again, The Art of Taking It Easy. What he does is he breaks apart the science of laughter and why it's really healthy for your health, your lifestyle. And then also I wrote a book about the brain science of sex, love, addiction, self-worth. It's called
That's
The Complete Player, and both of our books are available on Amazon. And we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, and Sam, I really like your book, by the way. I always point this out, how your book taught me how to be a player. And so
apparently well, I mean, I realize that some men might do that, but it really is written to the woman, the mark, the woman who's been played, or anybody really. When you break apart the science of love and sex and self-worth, then you know that information applies to any relationship that involves sex. So listen, everybody, thanks for joining us. Shout out to Samson Croupan, our producer, to Joe Fox, aka Joe Feezy, for our graphics designer, and Nikki Carr, our special guest. We'll see you guys next week at 5 p.m. Pacific, the King-Abrams Show. We appreciate you.
Thank you.